amazing, beautiful people, and welcome back to another Tuesday reaction. So, you already know how it works. Every single Tuesday, I literally go back and look at my previous Taylor Swift reactions, I look at the comment section, and I see what all of you are asking for. And something that has been recommended for so long is this right here. And that is Taylor Swift's NYU's 2022 Commencement Speech. Everyone's been asking me to react to this. I don't know anything about it. I don't even know what this is. I don't know what this is. There's someone here in the UK. I'm not really sure what a commencement speaker is. I don't know what this. I don't know. I'm going into this one blind. But literally everybody has been asking me to react to this. It's quite long. It's 28 minutes long. I am very curious as to why so many Swifties have been asking me to check this one out. So let's do it. I'm going to stop talking. Let's keep this intro pretty short. Don't forget to like and subscribe and support this channel. I'm really excited about this one because it has been recommended literally since I started reacting to Taylor. So I'm curious to see why. And also, if you want to get yourself some merch, we have look we got this hat. It's nice, right? There's loads of new stuff. We got a new water bottle, some new mugs. We got some new cropped hoodies and all sorts of really lovely stuff on GOTgamesclothing.com. Link is in the description, and we ship worldwide. So if you want to get something, I'm just saying, go check it out. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking. It's my first time ever reaction to Taylor Swift's NYU's commencement speech. I guess this is going to be my first time I learn about what a commencement speech is. Was the pandemic 2022? Or was that 2021?
I would like now to introduce Jason King, Chair and Associate Professor of the Clive Davis Institute of Recorded Music, Tisch School of the Arts, who will present the candidate for Doctor of Fine Arts. Will trustee Brett Rockheim
Doctor of Fine Arts.
Please escort the candidate to the lectern.
Can you literally get a... I know you can get a doctorate in a lot of random things. I swear you can even get one in law. Can you get a doctorate... Like, can you be a doctor of music? Is that a thing? Oh, that's kind of crazy.
Taylor Swift. Blazing singer-songwriter, producer, director,
where are they?
Actress, pioneering and influential advocate for artists' rights, and philanthropist. You have brought joy and resolve to your hundreds of millions of fans throughout the world.
Oh my God.
One of the best-selling music artists in history. You have crossed genres, demographics, age groups, and borders of all kinds to touch lives around the globe. With 9 original studio albums, 2 re-recorded studio albums,
face then.
5 extended plays, 3 live albums, and 14 compilations, you have sold well over 100 million album units, earning awards and honors in every category. You have used
Taylor Swift heavy metal album when? You know what? Wouldn't even put it past her. That's the funny thing.
Remarkable platform you earned to galvanize support for the Equality Act, to prevent discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation and gender identity. And you have spoken out, and you have supported initiatives to protect women and girls from harassment and sexual assault.
I just want to... Woo. Woo. Oh. I just want to say, Taylor Swift putting other celebrities to shame. Literally showing people how it should be done. How to use a platform, a voice, to better the world. Putting other celebrities to shame.
You have donated significantly to victims of floods and tornadoes, for cancer research, literacy programs for children, and public education. You have fearlessly challenged the exploitation of music artists.
Taylor gets an intro like Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. It's so cool. I love it. I love the idea of this just being how everyone just introduces Taylor to a room. Here is Taylor Swift. And then they just roll out this thing.
Successfully champion their right to be compensated for their work.
Taylor Swift.
What if I yelled that out my window loud enough, I'll just hear a random cheer in the distance?
You are a role model across the world for your unprecedented talent and accomplishment, your fierce advocacy for protection of those facing discrimination, and your commitment to speaking out forcefully, eloquently, and effectively on behalf of all artists. By virtue of the authority vested in me, I am pleased to confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa.
Is Taylor a doctor? Please tell me she is, technically. If she put doctor on, like, if she do Dr. Taylor Swift, if she fill out a document, is that what their doctorate does? I swear that's what it does, right? Am I crazy? You know what? I don't even care if I'm wrong. As far as I'm concerned, that's Dr. Taylor Swift now. I didn't get a nice book for my degree, man. They just handed it to me. Come on. UK, we need to step up.
I am now pleased to introduce Taylor Swift, who will respond on behalf of the honorary degree recipients.
Hi, I'm Taylor. Last time I was in a stadium this size, I was dancing in heels and wearing a glittery leotard. This outfit is much more comfortable. I would like to say a huge thank you to NYU's Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Bill Berkeley, and all the trustees and members of the board, NYU's President Andrew Hamilton, Provost Catherine Fleming, and the faculty and alumni here today who have made this day possible. I feel so proud to share this day with my fellow honorees, Susan Hockfield and Felix Matos Rodriguez, who humble me with the ways they improve our world with their work.
Is this all from memory? Taylor Swift is a fantastic speaker.
As for me, I'm 90% sure the main reason I'm here is because I have a song called 22.
I don't know about you.
And let me just say, I am elated to be here with you today as we celebrate and graduate New York University's class of 2022.
Man, that is such a cool experience. God, I'm jealous of every single one of you.
Not a single one of us here today has done it alone. We are each a patchwork quilt of those who have loved us, those who have believed in our futures, those who showed us empathy and kindness, or told us the truth, even when it wasn't easy to hear. Those who told us we could do it when there was absolutely no proof of that. Someone read stories to you and taught you to dream and offered up some moral code of right and wrong for you to try and live by. Someone tried their best to explain every concept in this insanely complex world to the child that was you as you asked a bazillion questions like, how does the moon work? And why can we eat salad but not grass?
Can we not eat grass? All right. I'm just learning this. Okay, well, see, even now we still learn, you know.
And maybe they didn't do it perfectly. No one ever can. Maybe they aren't with us anymore. In that case, I hope you'll remember them today. If they are in this stadium, I hope you'll find your own way to express your gratitude for all the steps and missteps that have led us to this common destination. I know that words are supposed to be my thing, but I will never be able to find the words to thank my mom and dad, my brother Austin, for the sacrifices they made every day so I could go from singing in coffee houses to standing up here with you all today, because no words would ever be enough. To all the incredible parents, family members, mentors, teachers, allies, friends, and loved ones here today who have supported these students in their pursuit of educational enrichment, let me say to you now, welcome to New York. It's been waiting for you.
Oh, man, amazing. Welcome to New York. Oh.
I'd like to thank NYU for making me, technically, on paper,
it's true!
at least, a doctor.
It's so cool. Dr. Taylor Swift is in the house, man.
Not the type of doctor you would want around in case of an emergency.
You know what's so funny? If there's ever an emergency, is there a doctor? Taylor Swift. So cool. Oh man, you're like choking, you're dying or something. It's like just Taylor comes running over. I'm a doctor, and in your last moment, you're like, you're dead. You're like, man, I'm so dead. She's not gonna be able to help, but it's still kind of cool, I guess. That's Taylor Swift. That's cool. Blah.
Unless your specific
amazing.
Emergency was that you desperately needed to hear a song.
It could be.
With a catchy hook and an intensely cathartic bridge section.
It could be. It could be. There's one person out there right now needing
or
it.
If your emergency was that you needed a person who can name over 50 breeds of cats in 1 minute.
Look at that smile.
I never got to have a normal college experience, per se. I went to public high school until 10th grade, and then finished my education doing homeschool work on the floors of airport terminals. Then I went out on the road for radio tour, which sounds incredibly glamorous, but in reality, it consisted of a rental car, motels, and my mom and I pretending to have loud mother-daughter fights with each other during boarding so no one would want the empty seat between us on Southwest. As a kid, I always thought I would go away to college, imagining the posters I would hang on the wall of my freshman dorm. I even set the ending of my music video from my song Love Story at my fantasy imaginary college, where I meet a male model reading a book on the grass, and with one single glance, we realized we had been in love in our past lives.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Which is exactly what you guys all experienced at some point in the last 4 years, right?
I experienced it yesterday. Like at least 12 times a month.
I really can't complain about not having a normal college experience to you, because you went to NYU during a global pandemic, being essentially locked into your dorms and having to do classes over Zoom. Everyone in college during normal times stresses about test scores. But on top of that, you also had to pass like 1,000 COVID tests. I imagine the idea of a normal college experience was all you wanted too. But in this case, you and I both learned that you don't always get all the things in the bag that you selected from the menu in the delivery service that is life. You get what you get. And as I would like to say to you wholeheartedly,
I do want to pause just to say, because of what this video is, this is like not so much as a reaction this Tuesday as it is more of a watch along. Like I can't really like verbally react to this. Obviously you guys say that you like the facial expressions as much, and I don't like put anything on. I just keep it all genuine. That's why sometimes I'll just sit here quietly for like a little while. So hopefully you guys are still enjoying that. But yeah, I'm not gonna like fake it. I'm not gonna be yelling and saying things and that sort of stuff just to like make it like more reaction based. You know, that's not what this channel is based. It's gonna be genuine. So I apologize. This is a little bit more of a quieter reaction than maybe you were hoping for. But honestly, I'm just kind of listening. You know, I'm just kind of listening. I'm just kind of listening. Everything she was saying about someone helping you hit me in a weird way. I've always felt like the people in my life who were supposed to help me in the positions of my life that were quite important with education and job choices and life when I like became a young adult just butted heads with me and pushed me in the wrong directions. I felt like I had a nice childhood and I had parents who loved me in their own ways and did things that they thought was right. I felt like as I got older, I butted heads with my parents a lot more when I became this man now, and them wanting me to be very different. So, like I've always said this: if you all met my whole family, you would be convinced I was adopted. That should tell you everything you need to know about the kind of family I come from. I am not like any of them. So yeah, that I guess that maybe me just saying that kind of sums up a lot of what my experiences were like as a young adult, like learning more about the world and then realizing my family, and then just being like, I really don't agree with most of all of you. So yeah, I've always said that. You ever meet my family, you would be utterly convinced that I'm adopted. You would literally be like, there's no way. So they, like I said, they did that. They were, when I was young, I know they loved me. I know they did what they thought was right, and I'm very grateful for them. When I got older, I know that they struggled because I was very different from them, and here we are now.
You should be very proud of what you've done with it. Today, you leave New York University and then go out into the world searching what's next. And so will I. So as a rule, I try not to give anyone unsolicited advice unless they ask for it. I'll go into this more later. I guess I have been officially solicited in this situation to impart whatever wisdom I might have to tell you things that have helped me so far in my life.
Oh, man,
Please bear in mind that I in no way feel qualified to tell you what to do.
Is it weird that I could just listen to Taylor talk for hours? Like, there's just something like so comforting about her. It's so weird. I can't even describe it. It's like Taylor Swift is your morning coffee. You know, you're tired, you're knackered, and you're sipping there and you're drinking your morning coffee in the morning, and it's just like, well, this is nice, this is comforting, this is nice, it's a good way to start the day. And Taylor has the same effect. There's just something so comforting about her. I don't know, I can't explain it more. It's that simple.
You've worked and struggled and sacrificed and studied and dreamed your way here today. And so, you know what you're doing. You'll do things differently than I did them, and for different reasons. So I won't tell you what to do, because no one likes that. I will, however, give you some life hacks I wish I knew when I was starting out my dreams of a career and navigating life, love, pressure, choices, shame, hope, and friendship. The first of which is, life can be heavy, especially if you try to carry it all at once. Part of growing up and moving into new chapters of your life is about catch and release. What I mean by that is knowing what things to keep and what things to release. You can't carry all things, all grudges, all updates on your ex, all enviable promotions your school bully got at the hedge fund his uncle started. Decide what is yours to hold and let the rest go. Oftentimes, the good things in your life are lighter anyway, so there's more room for them. One toxic relationship can outweigh so many wonderful, simple joys. You get to pick what your life has time and room for.
This is something I always talk to people about when they're pissed off with someone or holding a grudge with someone or angry at someone or anything like that. I live in my bubble. I've got my 2 boys. I've got our pet corn snake Luna. We got our border collie Gizmo, and then there is my beautiful wife, and that's my bubble. You know, that's my bubble. Outside of this house, crazy world. Inside this house, my bubble, and I'll protect that bubble fiercely. You know, I'm a battery that powers that bubble. That is my goal in life. That is who I am, and that's what I want to be. I want to be the battery to all of the joys inside of this house. That I power that happiness. That's my goal. I work hard. I put in the hours, so all of them can just live the best lives ever. And that's what I want. It makes me happier than anything ever will. And I always say to people, hate is one way, and it's important to remember that. If I was sitting here right now and I was hating someone, and I was like, oh man, I hate that person, I hate what they did to me, and I'm holding this grudge, I'm holding this anger, that person does not give a fuck. That person is just out there living. They are not hating me back, sitting there hating me like some villain in a movie. Like, they're literally just living. And meanwhile, that relationship is consuming only me. That burden and that grudge consumes only me. I've been wronged, and I'm hating this person for it, but they've already moved on. So the only damage that is long-lasting is the damage I'm inflicting on myself. So it is very important to take some time, realize that, and move on. Because that hate only hurts you, not them. So you are literally just giving that person more of what they wanted in the first place, and you're doing it to yourself. You do just have to let it go. I completely agree with Taylor.
Be discerning. Secondly, learn to live alongside cringe.
Okay.
No matter how hard you try to avoid being cringe, you will look back on your life and cringe retrospectively.
She's right. She is right. She is right. We all do.
Cringe is unavoidable over a lifetime. Even the term cringe might someday be deemed cringe. I promise you, you're probably doing or wearing something right now that you will look back on later and find revolting and hilarious. You can't avoid it, so don't try to. For example, I had a phase where, for the entirety of 2012, I dressed like a 1950s housewife. But you know what? I was having fun. Trends and phases are fun. Looking back and laughing is fun. And while we're talking about things that make us squirm, but really shouldn't.
You know what I find really funny is you wouldn't even recognize old me. Literally, young Luke had a bowl cut, thick, wild hair, bowl cut. I used to wear a beanie just so it would flatten down all the time. I had a big, thick, black Slayers hoodie I'd wear everywhere. Baggy jeans, a chain. That was literally it. That was young Luke. I'd walk around with headphones in all the time, and I literally looked like the dodgiest dude ever. And that was young Luke. And like, I look at old pictures of me, even at my prom. At my prom, I wore like a red waistcoat. I had like a white shirt. I had like a jacket over it. I had like 4 different kinds of jacket. I basically went in there and picked everything. I was like, yeah, I want the full shebang. I didn't do my hair or anything. So on my old prom pictures, I got this fucking mop on my head. I look like a twat. And I'm wearing this stupid freaking suit. And I look back at it, I'm like, I am never letting my sons ever. I never want my sons to look back at their pictures and go, Dad, why the hell did you let me go out in that? Because I look back at that and I'm like, why did my parents think that was cool? Why did my parents look at me and go, you look great? I look like a dick. Why did they do that? I hate looking at my prom pictures. All my friends looking amazing, and then there's little old me looking like a twat. Oh, man. She's too right with this one.
I'd like to say I'm a big advocate for not hiding your enthusiasm for things.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes. Absolutely.
It seems to me that there is a false stigma around eagerness in our culture of unbothered ambivalence. This outlook perpetuates the idea that it's not cool to want it. That people who don't try are fundamentally more chic than people who do. And I wouldn't know because I've been a lot of things, but I've never been an expert on chic. But I'm the one who's up here, so you have to listen to me when I say this. Never be ashamed of trying. Effortlessness is a myth. The people who wanted it the least were the ones I wanted to date and be friends with in high school. The people who want it the most are the people I now hire to work for my company. I started writing songs when I was 12.
Working for Taylor.
And since then,
what a dream.
it's been the compass guiding my life, and in turn, my life guided my writing. Everything I do is just an extension of my writing, whether it's directing videos or a short film, creating the visuals for a tour, or standing on a stage performing. Everything is connected by my love of the craft, the thrill of working through ideas and narrowing them down and polishing it all up in the end, editing, waking up in the middle of the night, throwing out the old idea because you just thought of a newer, better one, or a plot device that ties the whole thing together.
Everything you need to know about Taylor. During the pandemic, Taylor wrote, 2 albums? From her bedroom. She herself created her own recording studio at the end of her bed. How many other artists would do something like that? Taylor did it all on her own. She literally went to her label with an album. She's like, by the way, I've done it. Here it is. It's complete. This is one of the biggest artists, arguably the biggest artist on the planet, one of the biggest artists of all time, did that all herself. She's talking about putting effort in and working hard. That tells you everything you need to know about what kind of person Taylor is. She didn't get where she is now because she got lucky. She got where she is now because she worked like a motherfucker for it. Harder than anyone else. And you know what? She still has that. She still works, even now, harder than anyone else.
There's a reason they call it a hook. Sometimes a string of words just ensnares me, and I can't focus on anything until it's been recorded or written down. As a songwriter, I've never been able to sit still or stay in one creative place for too long. I've made and released 11 albums, and in the process, I've switched genre from country to pop to alternative to folk. And this might sound like a very songwriter-centric line of discussion, but in a way, I really do think we are all writers. And most of us write in a different voice for different situations. You write differently in your Instagram stories than you do your senior thesis. You send a different type of email to your boss than you do your best friend from home. We are all literary chameleons, and I think it's fascinating. It's just a continuation of the idea that we are so many things all the time. And I know it can be really overwhelming figuring out who to be and when, who you are now, and how to act in order to get where you want to go. I have some good news. It's totally up to you. I have some terrifying news. It's totally up to you. I said to you earlier that I don't ever offer advice unless someone asks me for it, and now I'll tell you why. As a person who started my very public career at the age of 15, it came with a price. And that price was years of unsolicited advice. Being the youngest person in every room for over a decade meant that I was constantly being issued warnings from older members of the music industry, media, interviewers, executives, and this advice often presented itself as thinly veiled warnings.
Oh.
See, I was a teenager at a time when our society was absolutely obsessed with the idea of having perfect young female role models. It felt like every interview I did included slight barbs by the interviewer about me one day running off the rails. And that meant a different thing to every person who said it to me. So
it's funny when it's not even funny. Yeah, it's not funny. It's weird and angry, rage-inducing. I don't know. It's so many different emotions, but it's crazy when you look back at like I don't know. I mean, Swifties are all different age groups, but for any of you who are maybe 25 or below, I don't know. Maybe you've seen. Maybe you haven't seen this as much. Honestly, I can't judge because it's different for every country. I can only judge from my own perspective. But even this is gonna sound really weird, but even like what was considered the perfect woman, you know, when I was growing up, is so different now, and it is absolutely fucking disgusting to look back at it and think at how an entire society shaped, like made it normal, this culture of what a woman should look like. And how it was ugly and unattractive to not look like this. And how models were like so skinny and just tiny and had these unattainable bodies, and even we've even seen it with Taylor in like her past and what she's talking about now, and it is so fucked up that that's normal, and it still goes on now. It's different now, and it's so much better now. But as a man, I can't speak on these issues. I can only say what I see as a man on the outside. And yeah, as someone on the outside, as a man who, again, I can't speak what it's like inside this, I just find it so weird and sad how awful that must have been and still is now, to like not be told you're not what the perfect person should be, and to feel like that every day. I know as guys we get it, but nowhere near as much. All right, nowhere near as much. And in the past it was zero. It's only become more now because everyone's so body conscious. But as a guy, when I was younger, no one cared what a guy's body was. It was nothing. But everyone cared what a girl's was. And I just think of like all those girls in my college and everything like that, and all of them, and just I just as this outsider having no idea what's going through their head. I even thought about this the other day, and it kind of broke my heart. It's like young Luke going on dates, and like I'd put on like whatever clothes and just spray myself with some sort of cologne, and out of the door I'd go. It'd take me 5 minutes to get ready, and I'd go out with a girl, watch a movie or something like that. And I don't think ever once did I compliment them or anything. Because in my eyes at that moment, they just looked normal. You know, we're going out and they look normal. And I hate young me for not realizing just how much effort would have been put into that night for that girl. How much effort they would have put into in their makeup, in their hair. How long it would have taken just to pick their clothes, just so they feel comfortable to leave and go on this date. And how much more effort they would put in that than I did. And me being completely oblivious like an idiot. And it really makes me angry at young me for just not realizing. I don't know if my rambles are upsetting people. I don't know if they're making sense. I hope the point is coming across. I just wish I was better when I was younger. And yeah, it breaks my heart. The idea of like being told constantly from other people about how things should be, and the idea of this image. And like I said, I know it's better now, but it's crazy how much the world has changed and how quickly. And it is better, but it's still not there. And it's so weird that it's still not there. Because why isn't it? It should be. It kind of breaks your heart, doesn't it? I don't know. Like I said, I do apologize because I don't have any right to speak on these things. So if I've upset anybody, I do apologize. I just try and say what I think helps. I just try and be what I think a good person should be. And I know there's a lot of issues that I shouldn't really have a right to talk about. So I understand if people are annoyed. I am. I'm not a woman. I can only speak as an outsider, and that's my opinions as an outsider. And yeah, I just feel kind of heartbroken. I feel heartbroken for unnecessary pressure on someone's life. That is pressure that can cause them to break, that they don't deserve. And I hate that, you know? As someone who just looks at my wife as just this woman who's given me everything, and I just love her so much. I hate the idea of this unnecessary pressure, and it makes me, and now, and as a married man, I know I'm going on, but just like seeing how long it takes her to get ready and realizing that's just, yeah. Just the effort that goes unnoticed, and it's just, yeah. I hate that some of you watching this, most of you watching this, feel that. I hate it. I wish you didn't, and I wish the world made it that you didn't.
And that meant a different thing to every person who said it to me. So I became a young adult while being fed the message that if I didn't make any mistakes, all the children of America would grow up to be perfect angels. However, if I did slip up, the entire earth would fall off its axis, and it would be entirely my fault, and I would go to pop star jail forever and ever.
Yes, pop star jail.
It was all centered around the idea that mistakes equal failure, and ultimately the loss of any chance at a happy or rewarding life. This has not been my experience.
That pressure.
My experience has been that my mistakes led to the best things in my life. And being embarrassed when you mess up, it's part of the human experience. Getting back up, dusting yourself off, and seeing who still wants to hang out with you afterward and laugh about it, that's a gift. The times I was told no, or wasn't included, wasn't chosen, didn't win, didn't make the cut, looking back, it really feels like those moments were as important, if not more crucial, than the moments I was told yes. Not being invited to the parties and sleepovers in my hometown made me feel hopelessly lonely. But because I felt alone, I would sit in my room and write the songs that would get me a ticket somewhere else. Having label executives in Nashville tell me that only 35-year-old housewives listen to country music, and there was no place for a 13-year-old on their roster, made me cry in the car on the way home. But then I'd post my songs on my MySpace. And yes, MySpace. And I would message with other teenagers like me who loved country music, but just didn't have anyone singing from their perspective. Having journalists write in-depth, oftentimes critical pieces about who they perceived me to be made me feel like I was living in some weird simulation. But it also made me look inward to learn about who I actually am.
I always say this about Taylor, and I can't imagine what it's like to be. I'm shocked that Taylor is who she is. You know, that she is so normal, that she is just so grounded. And it is very frustrating when you see, like, on Twitter especially, and that sort of thing. I think Swifties do an amazing job at just ignoring the hate, because it's sad that it's so fucking prominent out there. And I love that it's like almost like an unspoken rule in, like, the Swiftie community to just ignore it. It's like not give them the attention they want. You know, all these people that just like poking fun and making fun, and it's just like just walk past them like they don't exist. I think that is the best way. And I love that I see these people just like obviously rage baiting Swifties, and there's just no replies. And the Swifties just look at it and go, we're not going to give you the time. And I love that it's almost this unspoken rule. And I've honestly forgotten where I was going with this. But yeah, it's like that's where I was going. The fact that Taylor like is so grounded and normal, and just has the spotlight on a mega scale just shined on her at all times. And everything, like she used to say about like her issues with food and dieting, would just be because some fucking asshole took a picture and said like, Taylor looks a bit overweight in this picture. And that would just break her. That is a human being. I'm a man. That would break me. Like if I just went out and someone said, "Oh, Luke's got a bit of a belly," I'd be like, "Shit, do I?" I'd be like that. That's like I feel like someone who's like quite emotionally construct and like can take that criticism. You know, I'm online. You have to. You know, we get shit all the time. It's just how it is. But on Taylor's level, I am in a shadow on the moon. Like Taylor is lit up on a whole other level. I can't imagine what that does to a person. I cannot imagine. And the fact that she is who she is mind-blowing. She is just an incredible human being and an exceptional role model. I don't know if there will ever be anyone like her. She is mind-blowing.
Having the world treat my love life like a spectator sport in which I lose every single game was not a great way to date in my teens and 20s. But it taught me to protect my private life fiercely. Being publicly humiliated over and over again at a young age was excruciatingly painful, but it forced me to devalue the ridiculous notion of minute-by-minute, ever-fluctuating social relevance and likability. Getting canceled on the internet and nearly losing my career gave me an excellent knowledge of all the types of wine. I know I sound like a consummate optimist, but I'm really not. I lose perspective all the time. Sometimes everything just feels completely pointless. I know the pressure of living your life through the lens of perfectionism. And I know that I'm talking to a group of perfectionists because you are here today graduating from NYU. So this might be hard for you to hear. In your life, you will inevitably misspeak, trust the wrong person, underreact, overreact, hurt the people who didn't deserve it, overthink, not think at all, self-sabotage, create a reality where only your experience exists, ruin perfectly good moments for yourself and others, deny any wrongdoing, not take the steps to make it right, feel very guilty, let the guilt eat at you, hit rock bottom, finally address the pain you caused, try to do better next time, rinse, repeat. And I'm not gonna lie, these mistakes will cause you to lose things. I'm trying to tell you that losing things doesn't just mean losing. A lot of the time, when we lose things, we gain things too. Now you leave the structure and framework of school and chart your own path. Every choice you make leads to the next choice, which leads to the next, and I know it's hard to know which path to take. There will be times in life where you need to stand up for yourself. Times when the right thing is actually to back down and apologize. Times when the right thing is to fight. Times when the right thing is to turn and run. Times to hold on with all you have. And times to let go with grace. Sometimes the right thing to do is to throw out the old schools of thought in the name of progress and reform. Sometimes the right thing to do is to sit and listen to the wisdom of those who have come before us. How will you know what the right choice is in these crucial moments? You won't. How do I give advice to this many people about their life choices? I won't. The scary news is you're on your own now. But the cool news is you're on your own now. I leave you with this. We are led by our gut instincts, our intuition, our desires and fears, our scars and our dreams. And you will screw it up sometimes. So will I. And when I do, you will most likely read about it on the internet. Anyway, hard things will happen to us. We will recover. We will learn from it. We will grow more resilient because of it. And as long as we are fortunate enough to be breathing, we will breathe in, breathe through, breathe deep, and breathe out. And I am a doctor now, so I know how breathing works. I hope you know how proud I am to share this day with you. We're doing this together, so let's just keep dancing like we're the class of 22.
Oh, those were prompts with the speech on, right? That popped up. That's cool. It's so weird. It's so weird. I always like sharing more about like me with you guys and let you guys know a little bit more about me and like my past and my history and that sort of thing. I feel like it helps people connect with their creators, but also I feel like it's just good. It's good to be honest and real. You want to make sure you're following, you know, someone you agree with. I don't know. I remember like I went to school, failed all my GCSEs. I had to retake them all in college. I got a couple of A-levels, of some distinction diplomas or whatever they were called. I can't remember. And then not diploma. I can't remember what they were called. And then went to apply for a university. I applied for Devon University, which was miles away from where I was, near Brighton. And that summer, I went to a festival and I met this girl. And I really liked her. And there was something about her, and I was like, something feels right here. And I was like, if I go to Devon University, I'm never going to see her again. So I changed my university. Because of that, I changed it to Nottingham. And I went to Nottingham University because I'd be closer to her. And she stopped talking to me. And we fell out for a couple of months. And I was in Nottingham. I'd made this decision to come here and study law. And I was on my own. And I was in my own room. I wasn't on a dorm. I had like a student flat in like a building of block of flats that was all only for students, and every student had their own room, own studio apartment. And I was in there, and I was on my own, and my dad left. He's the one who helped me go up there with my brother, and I was just sitting in my room, and I was so depressed, and I was so isolated, and it was some of the hardest times of my life. All my friends were miles away. There was no family, and I wasn't even talking to the girl who I moved there for. And I was just on my own. And every day I just felt so alone for months. And I just was heartbroken. And then I started talking to the girl again. And I started getting closer to the girl. And I started seeing her. And I started studying harder. And I managed to finish university with 2 degrees. And I got an alright job. It was okay. I didn't really enjoy it, but, you know, we had money. It was okay. And I married this girl. And then we had kids, and I was terrified of the idea of not seeing them grow up and being buried in work. And then I met you guys. I'm at this community, and I have been given the best gift in the world where I can make videos for a living. In here, in this office. And right now, outside that door, I can hear my youngest son running around like crazy. And I'm only able to do that because people like you guys give me the time, give me the energy, give me the effort, and watch my videos. And I don't know why people do. I just feel like just a normal person. Like nothing special about me, and I don't understand it. But I'm so grateful, and I'm so lucky. So all I can say is thank you so much to every single one of you, not just the Swifties, everyone who watches all of my videos. Because you've changed my life. And I get to watch my sons grow up every day and don't miss out on things because of you. I just wanted to share that about me. Taylor addressing this giant stadium full of people about to embark on that journey that I just said. I thought it would be interesting, hopefully, to share where I was when they were all there and where I am now, a decade later. Yeah. I'm so grateful, you know. None of my achievements exist without you. They're your achievements, really. That plaque is yours. If a gold one ever somehow, by some miracle, ends up on that wall, that's your achievement. I won't ever forget that. Man, I absolutely love this woman. I think she is such a role model and inspiration for so many people. And I think all those people who just randomly want to hate on her, I feel so sorry for them. I was one of these people who didn't think I would ever like Taylor. I was one of these people who just didn't think I'd ever enjoy her music or anything around her. And I feel really sorry for past me, who missed out on just being part of this wonderful family and just falling in love with this wonderful person. And there's so many people out there who I just feel sorry for them. Because they're so bitter they are missing out on one of the greatest experiences ever. And it sounds ridiculous, but it is true. Simply being a Swiftie. Because you just get a new family, and the only thing that family cares about is loving you and loving each other. It's just the best. Anyway, I'm going to end the video there. I really enjoyed this, as you can tell. Thank you very much for recommending it. If you guys want me to check out, I was actually going to check, it was between this or the Graham Norton best of Taylor's moments. A lot of people are recommending that as well. Let me know if you want me to do a reaction to that next week. And I want to end this video simply saying thank you. Taylor's never going to see this, but thank you so much, Taylor. You've created such a welcome community. I hope you realize just how special it is on this planet, where a random nobody British metalhead like me would be so warmly accepted that it felt like a home I never got to experience. And I'm so grateful for you and your music and for this wonderful family you have created. I feel like even though I wasn't lost before it, I feel like I'd be lost without it. So thank you so much. And please don't ever change because we love you so damn much. But yeah. Anyway. Hope you all enjoyed this reaction. Have an amazing day. And as always, my friends, you will see me in the next